Hello, this is chapter number 19, A Cry of Hounds. On Christmas morning, Owen and I stood in the yard and looked up. I had to pinch myself to make sure I was not dreaming. A jungle of painted beasts floated beneath the jacaranda tree, the leaves and purple flowers like a canopy above them. Tied to the branches with transparent fishing line, the carved wooden animals appeared suspended. When a warm breeze tickled the dragons, reptiles, birds, and lions, they twirled and swayed. Owen and I lay down on the ground and watched them. A few minutes later, Santiago came out from behind the trailer where he had been waiting. He lay down next to us, and we watched the spectacle of the music Owen's raspy laughter. Later in the afternoon, I sat outside, carving with Santiago. He was an expert on wood and had brought some of the special copal branches from the trees in the mountains. I loved watching him carve. He held up a curved branch. Each piece has a personality. Sometimes you can look at the wood and see exactly what it might be. The promise reveals itself early. Other times you must let your imagination dictate what you will find. How do you see your soap today? It is a dog, right? I note. I had been working on it for several days. This end will be the tail, and here I point to the bottom corner will be one of its legs running. Santiago nodded. Almost done. I pull my knee across the soap, but the dog a little too deep and a large piece crumbled to the ground. With one slip of the knife, I had accidentally curved off the running leg. I gasped. No, do not be sad, said Santiago. There is still some magic left inside. Let us say the missing Let us say that the missing leg is symbolic of a tragedy or something the dog has lost, or that its destiny was to be a dog with three legs. He picked up my carving and with a few strokes of the knife smoothed the ragged piece into a perfect three-legged dog. You must you must care so that what is inside can become what it is meant to be. When you are finished, the magic will show itself for what it really is. Santiago considered an odd shaped piece of wood. When the promise does not reveal itself early, your imagination must dictate your intentions. Then the good or the soap, it will become what you least expect. Sometimes the good fools me. I think I am carving a parrot, and when I'm finished, it has a fish tail. Or I begin a tiger, and in the end, it has the body of a dancer. With a small machete, he scraped. He scraped at the layers of bark that had built up over time, exposing the innards of what used to be a tree branch and revealing the unprotected heart mint. He tried the machete for a knife and chafed at the wood with quick strokes. Soon he handed me a round figure. I held it up in the air. I could see that it was a lion's body with human's head, maybe that for a girl. As I turned around, as I turned it around, admiring it, Grain came out of the house and slowly sat down in one of the chairs. She stared at her false hands and cleared her throat. I just checked in with Mrs. Maloney, the mediator, a young woman, showed up at the avocado acres yesterday to interview her. Imagine showing up on Christmas Eve. The woman asked Mrs. Maloney where we were because she needs to talk to all of us by Friday, January 3rd. Mrs. Maloney told her we'd return from our family vacation in time for the interview, which is what I had told her to say if anybody asked. That's in 9 days. And which what with 4 or 5 days driving ahead of us? I'm sorry, Naomi, but Bernardo said we should leave the day after tomorrow. I took a deep breath and looked around the yard. Can we just stay here? I asked, my hands suddenly quivering. You like it here. You like it here? You said yours. You like it here. You said so yourself. I heard Owen's and Ruben's giggles coming from the garden. Owen loves it and we could go to school here. We are learning Spanish real good or we could go to Puerto Escondido and live in the little house and help sell the carvings. I could learn to paint them like Aunt Teresa, and Santiago pulled me from my chair to his side on a small wooden bench. He put his arm around me. Naomi, I would love for you to come to my house, but right now your life is in California. I have written the letter for the judge. I told the truth about your mother and that my wishes are for you and Owen to live with Maria. I told that I want to be part of your life and see you, maybe in the summer for vacations if that is all right, with you and Owen, more if it is possible. My lips trembled. I stared at the ground. I did not fight for you when you were little, said Santiago. It is something for which I am sorry. I should not have believed your mother when she said I would never be able to see you. If I had been stronger, maybe things could have been different, but maybe they would not have been so different. How will we ever know? I look at him. But what can you come with us? For that to happen, he said, I will have to prepare. Much will need to be done. Sell my house, my boat. Much of my money comes from my carvings, which are sold only in Oaxaca. My work, it is here. But what if the judge, Naomi, said Graham, we are not going to consider the worst that could happen. Thinking that ways does not help sell prophecies. Since we'd found Santiago, Graham was wearing his furnaces again, at least on the outside. I guess I better tell Owen, said Graham. I will go with you, said Santiago, and they headed toward the garden. Alone, beneath the jacaranda, I stared at the three-legged dog and the lion girl in my lap. We rode home to Lemon Tree silently. The truck and baby beluga seemed to drag along the highway. We traveled with less than we had brought, choosing to leave many things for Flora, Pedro, Graciela, and Ruben. So, why did we seem to plod along? Did the weight of our memories slow us down? For hundreds of kilometers, I held the lion girl and thought about all that I want to tell Blanca, especially about my father. On our last days in Oaxaca, Owen and I had gone everywhere with Santiago to visit Aunt Teresa, to El Zócalo, to El Mercado for pineapple coconut ice cream, and to admire the statue of Soledad in La Basilica. I will never forget that day. The statue, the statue with the long robe, a crowd of gold, the sparkling stained glass windows, our footsteps echoing on the floor, holding Santiago's hand and listening to his adoration. Our Lady of Solitude is loved by sailors and fishermen, he said. She protects us at sea when our boats are rocking in a storm, when it is foggy and we cannot see the way, when we need to get home and our motor fails us. Then we ask for her assistance. She's part of Oaxaca, and since you have her name and have been here to see the wonder of this city, Oaxaca is part of you. The morning we left, Santiago came early to help Bernardo load the last of the luggage. He cut down all the animals hanging from the jacaranda and gave them to Owen and me. It was a long goodbye, what with Flora running back and forth to the kitchen with one more bundle of tamales, and Pedro recaking the tires on the truck and the trailer, and Graciela and Benny chasing Owen, Ruben, and Lulu around the yard. It was the kind of goodbye where everyone hugged and kissed every single person, then stood around talking and looking at each other, then all of a sudden started hugging and kissing everyone again, crying a little each time. When we were finally ready to climb into the truck, Santiago hugged me and said, "Be brave, Naomi Leon." I nodded, but when he took me in his arms one more time and rocked me back and forth, I didn't pretend to be brave. Do not be sad, he whispered. We have found each other. I will write, you will write. We have much for which to be thankful, and everything will be the way it was to mean to be. You will see, I promise, I promise. Now you must promise, I promise. The truck, just as Bernardo downshifted on the highway, Oaxaca had long disappeared from our view. I opened my notebook to make a list of all that I hoped to remember, but I closed it. My pen seemed too heavy to leave.